I wanted to take a few moments today to make a special video announcement to specifically members of Rainbow Forest Baptist Church, activists, and other friends who have been a part of our ministry in recent days and even past years. This morning, I felt led to make an announcement to the services Sunday, November 15th here at Rainbow. My first part of the announcement was this probably won't come as a surprise to most of you at this time. Part of the announcement was I'm not going to announce that I am resigning as senior pastor of Rainbow Forest Baptist Church. Secondly, I'm not going to announce that I'm retiring as a senior pastor from our church or ministry. I'm not resigning, I'm not retiring. But I did want to announce that this past week I met with the elders and leadership of our church and our staff and informed them that I believe the Lord has led me for next year to be our last year as senior pastor. And I've asked the elder leadership team to begin the process of looking for a new senior pastor who would replace us this next year. And as I met with them, we prayed, we talked together, we shared, and this is not a decision that I've made quickly. It's something the Lord has been speaking to my heart about over the past several years. Over the last several years, I've asked the elders to consider the fact that one of the great challenges they're going to face in the next 3 to 5 years is the fact that they will be asked to search for a new senior pastor. That would be a big challenge, a big transition. I've had the wonderful privilege of being here at Rainbow in this position for the last 24 years. I came here in July as senior pastor, July 1996, 24 years. It's been a wonderful journey. God has done so many awesome things. It's beyond my imagination, all that God has done in so many different areas of ministry. We have a great team here. The staff has always been a very helpful team, an assisting team, a team that worked together in unity and prayer, meeting and encouraging and helping and assisting. I really have had the privilege for the first time in ministry, of all the years I've been in ministry, to really be a pastor. We didn't have a Christian school. We did have HERF, the homeschool organization, but Pastor Mark has been over that. I had nothing to do with that. So, I mean, I have really, for the first time in all my years of ministry, had the privilege of really just being a pastor, shepherding people, caring, mentoring, praying, teaching the Word, and discipling and equipping people for the work of the ministry. So it's been an awesome 24 years. My wife and I feel so loved. We feel so appreciated. This is very difficult for us to leave. Our children are all part of this church. I believe every one of our children are members here. Nathan, who is, of course, in the Navy as a chaplain up in Chicago, he still is a member of this church since his tithes here. My grandchildren are growing up in this church. So this church will always be a part of our lives. My heart will always be here over such a long period of time. How can it not be? And so I just thank the Lord for the wonderful privilege you've given me to be your pastor. You've made it so easy. And together we have partnered together to begin so many wonderful things here at Rainbow. Global Partners in Peace and Development has been born out of this church. Dozens of folks have left this church to go to the mission field, to serve in ministries all over the world and begin other ministries. The Blue Ridge Autism Center was able to come to being right here and grow here at Rainbow Forest Baptist Church during this time I've had as pastor. So many great things. People have been saved, people have been baptized, people have been ordained and called to ministry. I couldn't ask for anything more as a pastor of a church. So I feel so blessed, and I thank you for your support, your love, your encouragement, and your help, your prayers most of all over the many years. So I just wanted to say thank you, but at the same time, this is on our hearts. We believe the timing is now for us to begin this process. So nothing will change though. because the way it's set up, our elder leadership team that consists of almost 17, 18 people, these men will put together a pulpit search committee consisting of an equal number of elders and an equal number alongside of that of church members. They'll be handpicked, specifically prayed over, and sought out to serve on this search committee by the elder leadership team and given instructions on how to proceed. So it's in their hands. I'm here as long as the Lord wants us to stay here this next year to assist, to come alongside, to continue to fill the pulpit, to give a sense of stability and direction in any way I can. And at the appropriate time that the elders think is the right time, I'll have a last Sunday here this next year. And we'll say our goodbyes and we'll part ways as far as me being senior pastor. But I'm going to continue ministering. Matter of fact, I believe the Lord has called us to begin a ministry called Pastor Mike Impact Ministries. Now, I would have never called it Pastor Mike Impact Ministries, but as someone else gave us this name through a set of circumstances I won't take the time to try to describe now, we really feel like God wants us to continue ministry, and I believe as we continue ministering to churches, to missions, facilitating, mobilizing, helping other churches get involved in missions, filling the pulpit, helping maybe bring reconciliation, restoration to churches that might be struggling with some issues, whatever the Lord leads me to be. You know, one of my key verses as a pastor now for almost 50 years, can you believe that? Almost 50 years. I've been a pastor, a part of ministry. 1971, when I went to Lynchburg Baptist College, that very fall, Dr. Falwell asked me to join his staff as a visitation pastor. I don't know if they called me a pastor, but I was only 19 years old. I'd just gotten saved, but he wanted me to visit all the visitors that were coming, and they were coming by the hundreds. And so for the first couple years there, I was like a visitation person, just coming into Dr. Falwell's office every Monday morning, meeting with him, getting the visitors' names for his secretary, and going out reporting back to him what we were doing. I mean, I was so blessed to have that opportunity to work with him and visit his Sunday school class and visit the members of the new people visiting the church and a part of that. And then between my sophomore and junior year at Liberty, we had the opportunity to go help start a new church up in Winchester. We thought we were going for the summer, ended up staying for the next 2 years of school, going back and forth. And then upon my graduation in '75 at Shenandoah Valley Baptist Church, Winchester, Virginia, I became the senior pastor. Never really sought that. I thought I was going to go to the mission field when I graduated from college. But God sent me there as a senior pastor. I stayed there for 13 more years in Winchester. From there, we went to Holland, Michigan for 8 years, where goodness, God just rained down His blessings in powerful, wonderful ways. Some dearest friends of my life still in that region area, that church at Calvary Baptist in Holland. And then the Lord brought us here. Now, that was 49 years ago we began ministry this very year. Next year we'll complete 50. It's been a fantastic journey. I've been so blessed and have gone through so much, and we've seen God work in marvelous ways. So my heart will be in this church, and it'll never leave, and I'll continue to pray and continue the ministry. I'll continue the mission of this church, and that's connecting the disconnected to Christ community and to the call of God. I'll just be doing it in a different position. So you pray for this search, pastoral search committee and team. We call them a team because they're going to be working diligently to seek God's mind, God's will, and they'll be reporting back to the elder leadership team, who will be reporting to the church the progress they're making. And but we're not in a hurry. We just really want to know God's mind, God's will. We want God's man for this church, and we believe God already knows who that is. So you pray as a member of this church, as a friend, as an active visitor in this church. Please pray. It's so crucial that the exact right person, the person of God's choice, not our personal choices, not our personal opinions, but God's choice becomes that man. So I'm just really encouraging you because my heart's here. I want the best, and I believe the best is for us to do what we're doing, because I believe God will continue to guide and direct our steps. Because as I was going to say in this verse in Proverbs 20, verse 24, man's steps are from the Lord. how then can a man understand his own way? And that really is the testimony of my almost 50 years of ministry. God has directed our steps. I really believe that. And I've just been amazed at the direction He's taken us, the opportunities and things that He's done. And so I thank you again for allowing me to be your pastor these years here at Rainbow. I pray encouragement for you. Be encouraged, be excited, because I'm convinced, despite the COVID and all the different changes going on in our country and in our world, I'm convinced these are the best days. Now, making this decision at this time had nothing to do with COVID. This has been going on in my heart for several years, getting ready for this, and even the change in our government at this point, as it appears, that has nothing to do with it. It's simply God at this point leading us, based on prayers over many years, to come to the place where we needed to say, this is the time to make this announcement and ask this team to begin this process. So we thank you again. We say God bless you. My prayers will always be for this church. I know God's given us a prayer ministry. It'll never stop until we draw the last breath or our mind quits working, as we can communicate with God and talk to Him, and you'll always be in our hearts. And God forbid that I should ever cease to sin against the Lord and ceasing to pray for you. And that's my commitment to you. So you pray for us as we continue with Pastor Mike Impact Ministries, continuing to connect people through social media. And I'd probably be like a pastor of social media ministry, an extension of this church, a ministry of this church in a sense, wherever God leads me to go. So thank you so much again. God bless, and you have a wonderful day. And I do, again, covet your prayers, and the leadership teams here covet your prayers during this crucial and transitional time. God bless you. Thank you.